Palm rolling. Is it good? Is it bad? Should a Semi Freeform locker even be doing it? Let's talk about it. Welcome back to the Atreyu Locs channel. Hi, I'm Atreyu, a Semi Freeformer who is dedicated to bringing you the best tips to grow a healthy set of locks. If this is your first time, make yourself comfortable. I am glad to have you. I have been getting some questions over the past few months about palm rolling, and I've just been waiting to deliver answers to those questions in one video. So for those of you who have been waiting to get my thoughts on palm rolling, I apologize for the wait, but this is the video for you. So I'm gonna first start out by talking about my experience with palm rolling as it relates to my own lock journey, or lock quest for those of you who know that I prefer that term. So like most lockers who are of the manicured or maintained type, I started out with pretty short locks. Now I know, they weren't super short, right? Because I did have a lot of loose hair, but after shrinkage and everything, one would reasonably consider them to be short. And back then, I remember, after watching videos and trying to figure out this whole retwisting thing, I knew that my locks weren't long enough to palm roll, at least in the way that I was thinking about it. Now, I know a lot of you out there, you use the terms palm rolling and retwisting interchangeably as if though they are the same thing. I believe that there is a difference. I believe that you can retwist your locks without palm rolling, and you can palm roll without retwisting them. And so, to the person who asked the question, can you palm roll short locks? The answer is emphatically yes. If there is enough length to get in between your palms, then all you have to do is roll. The thing is, you want to be careful that you don't go too far in either direction, because that's going to cause too much tension. Is it a good idea to palm roll shorter locks? Well, it depends on what you're going for. If you're trying to keep super neat, almost zero frizz type of starter locks, then I understand why you would want to palm roll. So it's a matter of preference. Just make sure that if you do decide to palm roll, that you're not going too far in either direction, because that's going to cause tension on your scalp and can lead to thinning, an undesired effect. So getting back to my lock story, my locks were too short to palm roll the way I had seen people on YouTube palm roll. They retwist and then they put it in their palms, and this is what you hear. You're doing the darn thing when you hear that, right? I knew that my locks were too short to do all that because I only had that much length to palm roll. So I would be lucky if I could get a quarter movement, and it was done. It was complete. Not very gratifying or satisfying. So I waited until my locks got more length, and then that is when I incorporated palm rolling into my regimen. Now, once again, there is a difference between retwisting and palm rolling. A lot of times when you do maintenance, you do them in tandem. And I think that's why people tend to group them as one thing. You retwist and then you palm roll, so they just call it palm rolling, or they just call it retwisting. But like I said, you can do them separately. So up until that point that my locks got long enough to actually palm roll, I will only retwist. Let me mention something else. When my locks were super short and I wasn't palm rolling at all, my method of retwisting was more of a finger twist. So I would just use my fingers to twist the roots and then apply the clip. So once my locks got long enough, I started to palm roll. And many of you know that my maintenance frequencies have been all over the place over the course of my lock quest. One year I might retwist once, another year I might retwist every month, another year I might retwist every 2 months. It just varies, right? Or it has varied. So yeah, once my locks got long enough, I definitely incorporated palm rolling into the retwisting process, so I was doing the darn thing, right? But then at some point, and I think this started to happen more so when I started to transition into a semi freeform lock quest, was that I just did not palm roll anymore. I think one of the reasons was because my locks, you know, they were much longer than they had been. So while before I might have been enjoying doing the darn thing with the, at that point it has started to become like too much like work. You know, when you got a lock that's like this long, you're not trying to palm roll all the way down the length of the lock for every single lock. So I kind of got into the habit of not really palm rolling anymore. And you guys know that I am someone who appreciates frizz for what it is, and I believe that it gives your locks a fuller look because I have a lot of fine strands. You know, my hair isn't like the fullest, so I appreciate the frizz to kind of give it a slightly bigger look sometimes. So yeah, for those reasons I kind of got out of the habit of palm rolling, and you know, it's been fine. Now, for the person who was wondering if it's dangerous to palm roll, I would say that anything done in excess or improperly can be dangerous. I don't think that palm rolling in and of itself is dangerous or harmful to your locks, but if you're not doing it correctly, you know, if you're going too far in either direction and it's causing tension on your scalp, then that could be really bad. I know I've seen some videos where people talk about because they palm rolled a lot, their locks are not only more cylindrical, which was the desired outcome, but thinner as a result. But if you think about it, if you're doing this motion a lot, then you are further compacting that hair. Yes, you're getting the desired outcome of having it be cylindrical, but you also are, you know, tightly packing in that hair even more. And so as a result, it's not going to be as big or plump, and it's going to be thinner. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. In my opinion, the danger of palm rolling is related to the tension to the scalp. I think that that is where you could run into problems. As far as whether or not semi freeform lockers should be able to palm roll, I would say that, yeah, of course. Of course they can palm roll. Why wouldn't they be able to palm roll just because they're semi freeforming? Well, if you think about it like this, you'll see why I'm like, yeah, it's a no-brainer. Semi freeformers, retwist, they do maintenance, right? They just don't do it as often. So when they do their maintenance, they can palm roll if they choose. But I have a sneaking suspicion that if you are a semi freeformer, you appreciate that non-fresh retwisted look. And what's more, you also appreciate the frizz for what it is. So you're not trying to do everything in your power to get rid of it. You embrace the natural, untamed hair look. You embrace the frizz. There's no need to palm roll. Heck, you might even embrace flat locks, right? Which is another reason that people palm roll, to kind of reshape their locks to a more cylindrical shape. So yeah, I have a feeling that if you are on a semi-freeform journey, then you probably don't palm roll super often either. If you choose to love, do so unconditionally, because loving with conditions conditions the heart to not really love at all. This is Atreyu Locs, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.